I really need to do this. And so God allowed me to make the trip to Uganda last year.
So I really quick, it was not part of my plans, but Pastor Andrew mentioned that passage about missions. And I want you to know that even if you don't go to the ends of the world for missions, the beginning of that passage talks about locally. You start in your family, you start in your town, in your state, in your country. So missions is for everyone, and it doesn't have to be outside of the country. So I just wanted to make a point to say that. You want to change there? Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who don't know where Uganda is, it is in Africa. On the picture on the left, it is the red country there. It borders Lake Victoria, which is the largest lake in Africa. It's one of the countries that borders it. And then in the picture on the right, it's a close-up. The two areas boxed in black are where our team went to serve. The areas boxed in green I went to later because I stayed 2 weeks after the mission trip. But the one with the star is the capital city of Kampala, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. And then up north is Moroto.
While we were in Uganda, we went to the market on one of the days to just see what they had there. And a lot of people there, a lot of the way they make their money actually is by creating and making things, which was really neat to see all the talent that they have there. Lots of beautiful paintings and jewelry and things like that. But almost every place that we went to, her and I had stopped at, somebody knew about Jesus and they talked about him and shared it with us, and we thought that was super cool to be somewhere in a whole different country and have people there still know about Jesus and talk about his joy that they have in their life.
So our first days, it's like 22 hours to fly there with like an hour and a half layover, and the layover is insane because it's in the one we usually do is in Turkey, and that airport's like a city of its own, so you pretty much have to run to your connecting flight. So it's a long ways. We get there, I think we landed at like 3 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning. Our team leader says don't sleep if at all possible because we need to get into their time zone.
Yeah, what's their time difference there?
Right now it's 10 hours. When we were there, no, it would have been 10 hours. With our time change, I always have to recalculate. But right now they're 10 hours ahead of us. So we want to get in their time zone. So we instantly start prepping our medication. We have to take it there in their actual bottles because they want to see the expiration dates if they pull our luggage. That doesn't mean they won't still take it from us. They, have been known to take a couple bags from us every year of supplies. But it's a small price to pay for what we bring and that they don't take everything from us. But we repackage into little like Ziploc bags that we can just hand out. We usually do like 7 pills, whether it be ibuprofen, Tylenol, vitamins, prenatals. I don't really remember what else we bring. We bring a lot of different meds with us, but then we have to pay for a lot in country that we can't get here, or some that are like heavier, like ointments and stuff. But the main one we can't get here is anything to do with malaria, to like get rid of malaria. We don't have that. So we buy that in country. The other thing, if you want to go to the next slide, because my clicker's not working. So the other thing we bring is feminine hygiene kits. And so we will take time to sort those as well. We do buy a few in country, but right now I have a few ladies in my church trying to help me sew them. But if girls or women don't have them, they are unable to go to school or work. So to be able to have the supplies is really important for them. So we've been trying to bring those, especially to the rural areas, because it's even harder for them to get there. You can go to the next slide. So we go there, I don't think I said, but obviously. We go there for a medical clinic every year. We do 2 clinics. We do the northeastern one in Rupa, which is in the tribe of Karamoja, which is where my outfit is from. They are very rural. Not everyone anymore, but most people in the country actually hate the tribe. They are the warrior tribe, and until probably 5 years ago, they were nobody went there. And our team leader kept asking, and they finally let her go in because the country took away their weapons in return for schooling. So they said they'd school the kids for free if they gave up their weapons. The other clinic is just outside the capital in a slum called Katwe. It's the biggest slum in Uganda, and you can literally see the capital from it, which is fairly sad to me. But those are the two areas we do clinic, and we do about 3 days at each clinic. You can go to the next slide. So this is our team. The Rupa team is bigger. So this is our Ugandan and American side. But the Rupa clinic team is bigger because our Ugandan doctors that help us have to have interpreters because there are still tribal languages everywhere. Not everyone speaks English or the main language in the country, so we have to bring interpreters. And same with Katwe, but most people speak the same language, so they're usually pretty good. I mean, we have to have interpreters. Okay, you can go to the next slide. So here is our general flow of church or of clinic. It changes slightly in location. So we have everyone start out at church because we figure learning about Jesus is the most important. Saving souls is better than healing bodies. Education, and this is just general education, not like math and stuff. Then they go see our doctors, and then they go to our pharmacy if they need more than vitamins and ibuprofen or Tylenol. But clinic, church, Tony and Joanne, who are pictured there, Tony and Jody, who are pictured there, they lead the church service, and then the rest of the group rotates through. You can go to the next one too. But they will lead church service. The rest of us will take turns helping in church service. So we will rotate through sharing our testimony, sharing whatever God's laid on our hearts. It's one of my favorite things to do. And this coming trip in September for me, we're going to a new village that has 5 Christians. They meet under a tree for church every week. And I'm super excited because it's how many people get to hear about Jesus for the first time? So, go ahead.
I was just going to add, when we were talking about the clinic real quick, a lot of the people will come in there with back pain, those kind of things. But from what I was told, especially in the Karamoja area, they're coming from way up in the mountains. So they have the only time that... Oh, yeah. Hello? The only time that they really ever get the help or the medications and seen is when we're there or other missions are there. And a lot of their back problems is because they carry things on their head from way up in the mountain. And so a lot of their back problems and things is just from their long journey down to get the help that they need.
And they will walk miles, a day's trip to come to clinic. And for me, it's heartbreaking the last day of clinic because we have a fence around the area we use because it's a schoolyard, and they will close that when we are at capacity for the day, and you will see the people out there, and you're like, wow, those people need help too. How far did they walk to get here? But also talking about carrying stuff on their heads. You'll see them carrying big boulders or super long logs. It's incredible the strength of their necks. I'm like, how are you still tall and out? You didn't shrink. Mm-hmm. So, okay, go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, so for education, we do general education. So we teach them the importance of cleanliness and obviously about the hygiene kits and how to use them. We teach them about their bodies and how bodies work, because they don't know. They haven't been taught that. But the most, I think, interesting thing to me is how our team has showed them how germs work. Because we'll teach, especially after using the bathroom, we teach them the importance of washing hands. So we take silver glitter with us. Whoever's leading the education will put their hand in the glitter and then start touching people. And as the glitter spreads, they're like, see, it doesn't just transfer to one person, it transfers to multiple people. They don't really like when we do that, but it's it's really a good teaching point. They've come around to it because we've done it enough years, but at first they were like, why are you touching me? But it's amazing, like the things we take for granted about education, and just being able to know things about our body and how they work, and why we are the way we are. You can go to the next one. So then the next place we take them is to the providers. We have our American doctors that come, and the top two, I guess David's on the bottom too, but Dr. David and Chloe, they generally will do some like minor surgeries. Like I think in the one photo, he's working on someone's burn on his leg. They have taken out thorns that are a few inches long. I've witnessed that in the past. They've taken, a little boy had a stick in his leg and they took that out. So they do a lot with burns. This year we had a little boy. Do you remember how old he was? I don't remember how old he was, but he was very little. He got burned a few days before clinic, and his mom brought him, and he was so bad we had to send him to the hospital for like continued care, and we paid for it. And we got an update from our Ugandan throughout the time after we came back, and the kid's back is completely healed. Yeah, it's so good. And just to be able to get those updates is very heartwarming, and to know how much that they care and that we care is, I don't know, it's just good. Because that's a lot of money, and that kid would have just had those injuries forever and maybe died from them with how bad they were. You can do one more slide. The other story I have is from the Katwe Clinic. Last year, we had this gentleman come, and he was deaf. Well, is deaf. So he came to be seen, but really wasn't sure how he'd get across what he needed. And we have one girl on our team who works in the pharmacy every year. Both of her parents are deaf. And she wasn't even going to come that year. She wasn't even going to come this year, but either of the years. But she ended up coming because she really felt like God was telling her that she had to go. And because she was there, she was able to sign to him. And his face just lit up because he was able to talk to someone, tell him what was going on, and just like share his story and just to be heard. So I think that was really cool to me last year, but even better is he came back this year, not necessarily to see a doctor, maybe just kind of to have a general checkup, but he wanted to come back and say thank you. So the funny thing is we just put him in the next open spot, and he ended up with the same doctor, and then she was there to interpret again. So just to have like full view of everything every year when you continually go and you have people come back and share their stories like, you helped me with this last year or a couple years ago, and our life is like this now. It is just so incredible. And that's not why we do it. We do it for God and to help people because that's what we're called to do. But it's just very heartwarming. You can go to the next slide. Oh, that's just another doctor slide that I forgot I had. You can go to the next one. So after the doctors, if they need more, we have pharmacy. So as I already said, we have medications for malaria, ointments, and I don't even know. We have a ton of stuff in there. I'm not usually allowed to work in there because I can't read their writing because doctor handwriting, you know. But and I don't know much about the medication. So Bethany and Jen usually work in the pharmacy, and they are great at it. They are a perfect team. In the top picture with the third person in it, that is Betty. She is always helping in our Karamoja clinic up in the Northeast. And the three of them just run so smooth. And even our interpreters that help the girls, they'll just tell them, hey, this is what this is what they have to take. So they'll hand the medication to the interpreter calls the person up, says this is what you have to do with the medication, and then they leave. So it just flows so well. You can go to the next slide. So 2 of the important things that we do in both areas, but especially Karamoja, is hydration. So we will bring bottles of water and a bunch of like liquid IV, and that has the electrolytes in it, and we'll teach them the importance of electrolytes and how to hydrate. And they can even just use salt, when we're gone, and sugar to make it taste better. But we teach them the importance of that because they're in our desert area, so they're always very dehydrated. We also bring as many glasses as we can. We try to split it evenly between both clinics, but we'll bring reading glasses so they can be able to see. But Chelsea has more on that one.
I just was able to help with that, and the experience I had just helping people be able to see was a really great experience as it was. Just seeing that, just their faces lit up, like the difference from like, I don't know, just their faces were just lit up after you get them their glasses to where they could see things, and to be able to experience that was pretty neat.
Okay, you can go to the next slide. So Kids Church was not done at every clinic. We only do this in Karamoja, and that is because we are on a grounds that has a school and church. So we usually have around 400 kids every day, and we don't want them there interfering or getting in the way, I guess, of the medical team. So we decided, why not teach them about Jesus too? So we do so much with the kids. We do worship. We teach them worship songs, the importance of what the songs say. We teach them about Jesus. We have messages that we prepare or that we do on the spot. We do games because we want to keep things moving, right? And then the last few years we've done little science projects too, which is really fun. And you can go to the next slide.
Well, I was just also going to add to that. I got to work with the kids, and that was so much fun. I just loved working with them. They were all so happy. They were so excited to see you. And even with them wearing the same clothes that they've probably had for like their whole life, they were happy and just excited to do games, to learn about Jesus. And it just really pulls at your heartstrings when you see them all bowing down and praying as well, and singing all the worship songs, knowing that these guys are going to learn about Jesus at a young age.
Okay, you can go. Oh, actually, before you go to the next slide, I did have one more story, random funny story this year. Our first day in Karamoja, we take a separate flight through, I think it's MAF. It's a mission aviation fellowship. And they only had one working plane this year. So we had to fly some of the team, and then they had to drop them off, refuel, fly back and get us, and then fly back. So Chelsea and I were on the second group. Chelsea and I were on the second group there. So we were a little later. The kids were already going. Everything was already going. And we got to get there just in time for all the fun with the kids at the end. And I ended up surrounded by a bunch of girls. And they just randomly decided as they were standing around me. I was talking to Ethan, who's the boy in the middle photo, young man. I was talking to him, and like it was his first mission trip, and I was like, "Are you having the best time of your life?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then next thing I know, I hear the kids going 1, 2, 3, and then I'd feel them like lifting my legs, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're trying to lift me up." So after they did that a couple times, I finally like squatted, and I had probably like, would you say like 8 kids surrounding me, carrying me around. And they carried me for so long, like back and forth. They dropped me on the ground only one time. It was hilarious. And the next day they're like, "Can we carry you again?" And I was like, "No, that was enough fun yesterday." But the kids are just so happy, so full of life. They love seeing us. I mean, they love our skin.
They do.
And I'm just
They
like,
do.
I like yours. It's so clean. Don't look at mine right now. But yeah, they are great. And seeing the smiles on their faces when they're around us. Also, the picture on the right with me in it, that was supposed to be me and the boy in green and the boy in blue that are right next to me. But as the guy was taking photos for us, more and more kids kept coming in. So if you ever pull out a camera for photos, you'll end up with all the kids running over. It's so great. Okay, now you can go to the next slide.
So we did a lot of prayer when we were in, well, we did prayer both places, but in Kotoway, since we didn't work with the kids, we had a prayer group that we worked in, and so we got to just pray for everybody that had like certain things that were wrong with them, and a lot of people did want to learn about God, and then one of the things that I was told is that if they have like dreams about snakes, it means that there's like a demon or a possession of some sort. I don't remember. Like there's something that they struggle with, and so I mean, in almost every story, when I asked what they wanted prayer for, almost everyone said that they had dreams of snakes. They had a voice talking to them, somebody saying not like they don't want or not to talk to God, but then we would pray and we'd have them pray to have Jesus come into their lives. And then as soon as we had them pray that prayer, their faces would just be lit up. I mean, I remember seeing a girl, just looks like she had a long day, was just really dark under her eyes and just like not happy, I guess. I don't know. And then after we prayed and we told her about Jesus and prayed that had to have God come into her heart, her face lit up. I just felt like she got free from those things. So that was a really cool opportunity to be able to see that. And then we actually had somebody who claimed to be a Muslim, and he asked questions about God and wanted to learn about him. And I was able to pray with him. So that was pretty cool too, to be able to do that.
You can go to the next slide. Also, the Muslim guy, he ended up coming to every church service after he saw the doctor. So he did want to learn more, which was so cool. I'm not sure what God was doing in his life, but I really hope that God is still working, or the guy has come to know Jesus, because it would be just amazing. Yeah, that is the main portion of our trip. I still have a few minutes and a few more slides, so unless you need time. Do you need time? Okay. You want to go, I think this is the last slide here, and then it goes black. Okay, go one more, please. Okay, so I have the slides for the second part of my trip. I don't know where it is. But first off, this is Moses. I've known him since my first trip in 2014. Him and his wife are amazing people, and they have been praying for 10 years, I think, to have a baby. And last year, God blessed them with little baby Samuel. I mean, we've all been praying with them, but it was so cool to be able to witness God working in their lives and their faith and patience as they prayed for a child, and then God gave them an amazing baby boy. I'm super excited to see him this year. But he was one of my favorites. He came to my birthday party too, which is great. You can go to the next slide. So other things we did while we were there, I guess some of this is still the trip. So the bottom photo is church service. We go to church in Katwe, which is the slum area, and that is the same building we use for clinic. Did you want to talk about that? Okay, you're on.
Also, I was just thinking, even though it is in the slum, church, when the people do go to the church, they dress to the nines. I don't know where, they dress up super nice and fancy.
They definitely dress better than we do. Their white clothes are whiter than my clothes, but I also don't take care of my clothes, so my white clothes. I wear mostly dark clothes. But yeah, church service is great. Usually they have our team leader lead church service after worship, and they also, I assume it's for us, but they might just do it every once in a while. They have a bunch of different choirs sing, so that photo's the adult choir. And it's just really fun to see all the choirs singing and dancing. And then and
the kids dancing too.
Oh yeah.
They had the little kids getting together and dancing as well, and they have some moves, let me tell you.
But then when service actually, the message actually starts, the kids go downstairs, which is technically a parking area too, and we have kids' church. So most of the time I'm in kids' church. Last year was the only time I actually got to be upstairs and listen to our leader. But the kids are so full of life. They are really smart. The teachers will ask them questions, and they'll know the answer. And I'm like, at your age, I had no idea. My brain did not work this well at your age.
I also, just to add to this too, because I also met one of her friends that she has there, and he dubbed me aunt. He called her mom. But he knows, I think, 3 different languages. He has 3 different jobs. They have, I don't know, they're very smart and creative there.
And I have to mention, he may call me mom. He's not a child. He's 20-ish. Yeah. I always get his age mixed up. I don't know why I can't keep it straight. And then, so the group picture, we have some kids from an orphanage that we were able to pull out of a rehabilitation center a few years ago, and we were able to get them sponsors to keep them in this school/orphanage. So we meet with them every year. We took them out to dinner our last day there after our safari. It's just always such a special time because I've been able to see them grow up since 2014 and just the relationships that we've built with them. Although the young man I sponsor for university is in that photo and he is not part of it. But yeah, otherwise. And we are missing people in the photo too. They weren't able to come because of working or school or whatever because they have to work in between everything. But every year we have the option of doing safari. We almost always go to Murchison Falls Park, which is amazing. I love it there. This year I'm not going because I needed to save the money. But last year we decided, why not do the gorilla trek? First off, the hard part was it's twice as much because you have to pay for a pass, not a pass, but that's the only word that comes to mind, to be able to go see the gorillas because they're endangered. And then you have to pay for the safari. So it's pretty much twice as much as a normal safari. And I was like, it's a one-time thing. God will provide. So I did it last year. We hiked through the jungle until we found the gorillas, and then we hiked out. And hiking in was kind of rough. We had to go through water. They were hacking paths through the jungle. Hiking out for me was the worst because most of our time in was downhill. So we had to come straight up almost. Coming out, it'd been raining because it's in a rainforest. So I was slipping in the mud. It was okay. It was rough. I was kind of miserable at a couple moments, but I was like, you know what? It's going to be so worth it once I get to the top of the hill. I'll be like, this was the best thing ever. But yeah, when we got out, our team leader was like, never again. It's one and done. If anyone wants to do it another time on their own, they can do it. We're not doing gorillas again. But it was really cool. We did have to wear masks around the gorillas, but yeah, it was cool. You can go ahead. And then, so after the team left, my dad's cousin lives there for work right now. So I was able to stay with him for 2 weeks and hang out with the people I know. So top left is David. He is in university right now, about 2 hours from the capital city. I'm not going to try to say the name of the university because I will say it way wrong. But he is graduating. Well, technically, he's already graduated, but the graduation doesn't happen until October. And he is a civil engineer. So right now he's looking for a job. So if you want to pray for him, their biggest fear when they graduate is finding a job because it's hard to find jobs in their fields. So he's looking for it right now. He's trying hard. The picture below, the young man in just white is the young man I sponsor. His name's John Bosco. And then his friend in the striped shirt is Emma. And then the one in the blue is Calvin. They all go to Kampala International, which is in downtown Kampala on a street that is full of universities. So I got to visit both David and John Bosco's, universities and the other two boys, which was really cool. I think that was my favorite time. And if I'm honest, no offense to John Bosco, but I think David's university was my favorite time because David is so shy and introverted. And it's taken me like 3 years to get him to kind of talk to me. But when we were at his university, he talked nonstop to me about university. And at one moment, I was like, this is like the most precious thing ever. And I want to say something to him, but if I do, he'll stop talking. So it was definitely really fun. I got to meet some of John Bosco's friends at his university too, which was really cool. The center picture is Calvary Chapel, Kampala. So I go to Calvary Chapel here locally. So I was like, I have to take a selfie. Hopefully my phone doesn't get stolen while I'm taking it. But I've actually been on 2 teams there. I know it's funny, but it literally happens.
Straight out of the window in the bus sometimes, driving through Kampala.
So
there's
we're not
people
allowed
everywhere.
to have our phones out in the bus. But yeah, so I've actually helped lead worship there a couple times with my team. Well, my team's led. I think I was in choir one time, which was really cool. And then the 2 photos on the right are James, my son. I got to see where he works. He's the one in the burgundy in the top picture and then obviously in the black on the bottom. He works, one of his jobs is at a hotel, and he helps with the event center, with serving and stuff, and he loves it there. He does really good. We got to they let us tour some of the rooms. They told us, showed us the rooms, told us the prices, and I'm like, this is more than I'd pay for a hotel in America. But it is a really nice hotel. They have some areas you can rent for a while. And later I learned my cousin actually stayed there for a month while his place was being prepared. And then the bottom photo, I got to meet his grandma, which was super fun. His mom has passed away, but I was able to go meet his grandma one day when I dropped him off. Actually, that same day, I think. So that was really cool. You can have the next one. And then, so I took the few world changers that were available out to dinner one more time before I left, just because I wanted to build our relationship without the team atmosphere. Just me and them was super fun. And the bottom left photo, I don't know why I have to look at that one. Bottom left photo is John Bosco and his sister and her 2 friends. We went to see his high school on a Sunday, and the high school he graduated from. So we got to go to church service there because it's like a boarding school type situation. So we did church service. I got to meet some of the students, and they asked me a lot of questions, which were really hard to answer because it was like about schools here, but I was homeschooled my whole life. So I was like, I think it's like this, but I can't tell you for sure. But yeah, it was really fun. I gave the girls some of my snacks because they love snacks. So when I went to see them at their elementary school, the bottom right photo, the young man next to me is a young man my brother used to sponsor. His name's Nathan. He's part of Freedom Projects, which is the sponsorship program that we go through. And so is the lady next to him. I don't think the other lady is. But the two ladies are from a group called Destiny Doctors that were started by young men that went to the school and orphanage that the World Changers are from. And it is such a big thing there now. They have multiple areas they go and do, I believe, free medical clinics. So I got to hear about like what they're doing, and I think it was last year I learned they had a list of 500 people that wanted to help volunteer, but they hadn't had time because they were so busy. They hadn't had time to like go through all the applications. And then the last photo on top, and all of us in white. My last day there, we got to celebrate my birthday. So it was originally going to be like me and a couple people, and then I was like, well, I'd like to invite these people and these people and these people. So we went out to this place for lunch that our team goes every year, and I think I had like 12 to 18 people that showed up, and the boys made a shirt with my face on it, which was very, exciting. They thought it was exciting. I was like, what is that? I love it, though. I feel so honored. They are the sweetest young men. But we just had such a fun time. And I assume with all birthdays there, how they go about it is obviously we ate, but they stood up and took turns like talking about me and like how they met me and whatever, which is weird because I don't like that. But it felt so special just to hear like what I meant to them in their life. And that was really fun. And just having all my people together. And my cousin got to meet Dad's cousin, he got to meet all of them too. And that was so much fun. Just the time we had together, it was very special. You can go the next one. Okay. So the last thing is the hygiene kits again. If you're interested in helping sew any of them, if you're a sewer, let me know. I can get you the information, or if you want to help the lady in my church who's already started, or even donate money to help make them because she still needs to get some supplies. Just let me know. And that's all I have for you.
If you would like to donate